Right, okay. Hello.
Hey.
Right, okay. So, first off, hello. My name's Paul. I am UX and product designer at Lean.js. I am here with Horacio right now. There he is.
Should I introduce myself or you do it?
No, I'll introduce you. So,
Hey.
Horacio is designer and developer at Lean.js as well. We are basically going to be going through some quick troubleshooting that I have made. So this is all to do with style systems. So if you style systems in React apps. So right now, basically, the situation is we're creating an app called UpMentoring. It's kind of a back office thing for running painting courses and whatnot. And we've done it from scratch. So we've got a product already for it, but it wasn't really cutting the mustard. So the last 4 months we've been kind of developing it, and now we're at the point where we're basically developments on the go. We've been doing it as lean as possible, but I'm going to say this right now. I've been learning React whilst doing this project, so there's going to be some
amazing. We're bringing a designer to the code part. Yeah, that's really good. Also, heads up, I'm sorry about the noise here. This is the only place that I can be to work a little bit here in my place. But yeah, just to heads up. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. It's all good. So what we're doing is today. If you're wondering, I'm not in a nuclear bunker. This is just where I live. Right, so the aim of today is that I've got just troubleshooting basically. So what we've done is that we created the app, me and a guy called Francisco, who's probably watching, well, hopefully watching right now. Me and him basically created a whole bunch of components and, you know, learned a hell of a lot together in about a month. And then the whole team have now piled in and we're all doing lots of little bits and bobs to be as lean and as possible. So what we ended up with was a whole bunch of pages with components in them that that were you know, were very basic, and the styling was, you know, kind of standard styling that you would have in any kind of React style components. What we wanted to do, and what Horacio suggested, which we were all like, yes, that's a great idea, is using style systems. So basically getting design system into the code and into the design, into the actual fabric of the app right from the get-go. So that's what we've been trying to do. So I'm basically retrofitting styled systems and its syntax into the components that we've got already. However, as with anything, especially with somebody who is new to React, I have questions. I have things that I've not done quite right. So yeah, that's basically what's going on.
So have you explained a little bit what style system is, or?
Well, so style systems, basically, it's a way of handing down styles from the get-go. So you define what your standard styles are. So things like, so if you have a design system, you would have your standard colors, fonts, sizings. So that includes margin, padding, sizing, you know, font weights, things like that, you know, standard things that are like just always referenced over and over and over. So you basically define them from the get-go, and then they get trickled down into your components. And you start with a theme.js, which I'll be happy to show you what we've got so far.
Yeah. So and like another thing to point out, we're using styled components. It's a CSS in JS library to style your components in React. And also we are using a theme inside. This is a feature about style components. So what style system is doing is actually a set of utilities that leverage the use of this theme. So we can react and use these values in a clever way in our components instead of just hard coding every value in every component. So this is just a better approach, in my opinion. I think.
Well, no, I think we all agree with that. So, I mean, basically, it's a really good way to start getting a design system into place. And that's kind of, from a design perspective, always a good thing, because consistency is brilliant. So, here's our theme, .js. We'll get rid of the terminal. I'll just pop that down there. You can basically see that it has the most, it has like really not much in it, to be honest. It's got, we've got a spacing, so we'll come to that in just a moment. We've got headings, which is actually imported in from heading variants as our buttons, but we get to that another time because we're not going to cover that just now. Probably not anyway, we'll wait and see. I'll see what Horacio has to say. Then we've got the colors, which, is, of any design system style, a component library, branding, documents, that's kind of a standard, isn't it? That and fonts. So talking of fonts, we're only having one on this app, where it's Roboto Slab, and obviously done a stack of backups here. Yeah, border colors and then font sizes. So that's using a modular system. So yeah, that's and relative measurements. It's worth noting actually the relative measurements are kind of they're coming from the pixel size of one rem actually is coming from the reset .css which we've got here. So that's so yeah, this is kind of harking back to the reset as well, but we don't. We're not going to cover that for the moment. We're just going to literally because whatever we do on the reset here, it will still be, everything will still work in this respect, because this is the base of what we've got. Everything else is just browser's default. Is that right, Horacio? Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, you are doing it right.
Wicked. That's nice to know. So then we've got line heights and font weights. I mean, line heights for accessibility is really important. Font weights, so just standard. I've got normal, bold, and light, and then max widths. So yeah, this is something that we're going to come on to in a minute. If you're wondering what CH is, it's characters. So actually, this is a bit of an accessibility thing that I can't remember.
This is something I actually learned here. Yeah, I didn't know that extension.
No, I didn't know it until recently, but it's a really good one, because cool. Obviously in terms of, I mean, this is actually, we've actually used this in the paragraph tag. Well, I did. Oh no, it's in text defaults. So, oh yes, it's in there. So yeah, I should have put it in there. Max width is normal, which is this one here. So that's basically giving you 65 characters max for a paragraph, which is great, because it just means that that's the between 65 and 80 is the kind of maximum of what you want for readability. Anyway, so before I go
let's go to the questions. I think
it's too much.
Yeah, we got it.
I need
nice introduction about style system and theming and what we're trying to do here.
Right. Okay, so this is actually our dashboard. So that some of the stuff that you see there is in there. So what I've got for questions, I'm just going to take these up here. Right. So I mean, the way that I've done this, because obviously we're retrofitting things, I've literally gone through the style system. Is this the one? Yeah, this sort of style systems documentation on GitHub, and it's got this is great because it gives you literally kind of everything that you can do with style systems and all the different props that you can go through. So what
I think this is a go-to. If you wanted to implement something related to style system, this is not the only implementation of this, but if you're using this tool, this is a must to read. It's amazing. You can see everything that you can do and all the capabilities that gives you. So absolutely. Yeah, just go there, read it like 3 times as we did, and let's implement it.
Yeah, so I mean, basically what I did is go through this and go through all of this and basically go, right, okay, so what CSS things have I put into my styled components already, and what things do I have to replace it with? So these are the different props that you can pass through style systems, and that's what I've put into the components, and I'll show you that in just a moment. I'll give you an example. So if we just go to margin, for example, no, that's Slack. You don't want to see what messages I've got in there. So if we just go to, well, here we go. That's margin. So, okay. So this is one of my questions in a minute, but basically you can see here, as part of any component, we've created default props, and the default props basically these are the things that I've added. So PY, I believe that's a vertical axis for padding, and then you got X is the horizontal.
You got it right. Yep, horizontal. It's PY is padding vertical, means padding top and bottom. PX means padding horizontal, that means padding left and right. These are props. These are props that are defined by some utilities in style system. As if you see on the top, can you scroll up a little bit? So,
oh, sorry.
Yeah, if you go to, you see here in line 6, we're styling this component extending from the box component. But if you go to the box component, you see that in the implementation of this component, you see line 24, you see the space function that is coming from style system. And that space function is implementing that prop PX, PY, MP, all those space props that are available now to your component. So
yeah, so margin,
this is all
padding,
style system magic. Yeah, there you go, margin and padding essentially. Yeah.
I mean, basically, what you see here, for anybody who knows CSS, what you see here is basically this. So we've got 4. So this is obviously a string. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1.5. So what you're seeing is basically this. If this was CSS, because obviously it's not at the moment, so you'd have 1.5 rem, and then 5, which I believe is 2. So that's basically what you're seeing. That is the equivalent to that. It's just worth knowing when you do use these things, you've got to know this stuff really well. You're defining it, so knowing this should be relatively simple. But I keep the theme.js file open all the time just to cross-reference everything and make sure that I'm doing it right. So yeah, that's basically.
So one thing that I want to add also, because these props are being added by style system, they rely on the fact that you have a space attribute in your theme. So if you go back to the theme.js, you see that we have in line 6, we have a space attribute in our theme object. So this attribute needs to be an array. So that's why you can pass a number.
An array. Sorry, not a string, an array.
Yeah, it's an array of strings in this case. But that's how you can go, and in the box component, you can define, okay, I want the padding X to be number 5. It's actually not 5 whatever, it's the 5 index in that space attribute in your theme. It's kind of weird, like it's really hard to understand the first time, but when you see it, it's like, okay, when you got it, it's pretty straightforward how you can just define variables in your theme and use it in a simpler way in your component, as Paul is doing here. You can put file over there. There you go.
So that's basically what Horacio is saying, and what I've passed. Oh no, that's not right. What I've passed here is basically the default for this, but it's what I've done. You can do the same thing in any other complex component where you've got lots of components within them. You could do this, and then you can be like, oh, okay, so a box is that, it's worth mentioning, box is the basis for everything. So everything that's passing. So you could do something like So wait a minute, no, that's not right. Oh, yeah, I could, yeah. So that you can see that this styled info box, which is here, is a box. So I can pass those things. In fact, I could pass that. Oh, whoops! I'll get rid of that in a moment. I could pass that there, and that would still work, wouldn't it?
Yes, it is. It will still work.
That and that would still do the same
Yeah,
thing.
the fact that we're using default props is because it's a clever way to pass default props, as it says in the name. But if you want to learn more about default props, you can just go to the React documentation. I think there's a better explanation as we can do over there. So yeah,
right.
let's continue.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. It's whenever I start talking about it, I'm just like, it makes me think of other things I need to do. So
yeah, me too. That happens to me a lot. Yeah.
So the thing that I want to talk about is props. So on here, what like for example, like I think this is a good example. No, that's not a good example. That's another question that I've got. Let's try padding. All right, here we go. Here's a good example. So if you can see here, I've got padding props. So basically, I've got this no border thing. So when I use text area field and then put in no border afterwards, it will only show a little bit like that. It will show this, and then if it doesn't say this, then it returns null, which is basically then going to the default, which is down here. That works, I believe. The question is how do I, because I don't want this padding here. I want it to be part of the styled system. How do I get rid of this and add it somewhere else, or do I add it kind of in here somehow in the same, kind of like an external thing, like I suppose space dot whatever, like we have done with colors previously. Yeah, what do we do, Horacio?
Okay, so there's two ways to do it. I don't know which one's the best one, but one way is that if you go to the style system documentation, I think we have available a function over there. If you go, can I see the whole list? Customize style. So you see, in the utilities, you have the theme get. So here, this function is a clever way to get access to a value in your theme.
Right.
So
okay, so yeah, I could literally. Okay.
So here it's just saying. So in this line, it's saying border radius is going to be equal to whatever radi.small value is. But if there's no radi.small, just go to the default 4px.
Right. So it would be this then. I mean, obviously not radi small, but like.
Yeah, you need to grab the whole thing. So here, from the dollar to the end, yeah, to the other curly brace, because that's an expression. So inside line 7, you see that you have no, it should, because you're reacting to the no border
right. Okay.
prop. So instead of that string 0.4 rem 0, you can over there.
Is that where you put this?
Yes. And then you need the other value, so the 0 value. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, because this theme get function, it will return only one value. You here have two values, the 0.4 rem and the 0. So you need that also at the end.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, you just go back. You can just, over there and wrapping that whole thing, you need the backtick.
Oh, right, yeah, because it's styling.
Yes, over there, and also in the front of the dollar sign. Then, and here you should put, it was the other way around, 0.4
I've
rem
remembered.
0. Yes, and then
So what does this? So wait a minute. So this is
the space dot whatever value that you, or yeah, or
but then that's
border.
this stuff here. See, I'm not.
Okay, so yeah, the things that you are changing some padding depending on one prop that is no border.
Mm.
So I guess this is gonna collide because you're passing also default props line 2021. That's gonna be overwritten by this
But yeah, but
padding.
that should be if it doesn't say this, then it goes there, and therefore it goes there.
Okay. Interesting.
But then, yeah, you're right though, because obviously this will be the last thing that's declared, so it's going to overwrite this, whatever the case.
Yeah. So also you see that in the example, you see that this is like space dot small.
Yeah.
So there's no like an array index over there that you can check on. So it's kind of tricky to reference to those values. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute though. Shouldn't it be, say if it's 1? Shouldn't it just be?
Yeah, that's not gonna work because you need actually the array syntax. So instead of a space dot 1, it should be space open bracket, array bracket, not curly, the box, yeah, without the dot, space and that. It should be that, but I don't think that's gonna work.
It doesn't look like it's going to work because it hasn't changed the
No.
color that you'd expect.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. So okay, so what I will suggest is instead of adding this padding here, I will add the padding in the actual component. So can you remove that line 7?
Yeah.
And then in the implementation of the button where we are adding that is a style text area field. Where is it? Over there. So over here I will take the no border prop. So line 27 I will add the before, yeah, over there I will add no border. And then I will define the PX and PY over there. So I can run an expression on those props.
Right, okay.
So here I will do PY equals, and then curly braces, and then I will check here about the no border. So I will put no border. I will do the ternary operator. So it will be no border and then question mark, space question mark. And yeah, and then here it will be if there's a no border, I will add the border that you define over there. So maybe I will put a number because actually you just so yeah, it was 0.4, I guess.
So this would end up what? Because at the moment that looks like it would.
0.4 rem. You can put a string. And then after the quote, you can put column and then the number 1. Okay, so what is happening here? So you remember that this PY prop is being defined by the box.
Yeah.
And we're extending from the box, so that's why you can put this PY here. Yeah. So the thing is that now we're checking here if there's no border. If there's no border, then you define that prop explicitly as the 0.4 rem.
Okay.
But if there's no border over there, you
Mhm.
want the default one. So the default one was the one that you had over there in line 19.
Yeah.
So it should be number 1.
So we can actually get rid of this then.
Yes, we can get rid of that and do the same with the PX.
Yeah. I'm ahead of you.
So yeah, PX, and I think here should be 0.
Yeah.
And 2, what?
Oh yeah, it's 2.
Yep. So I think another problem is that you now can get a prop also called PY to this text area field, and it's not gonna work because you're not passing that properly to the component. So yeah, this is just another caveat over there, but let's just leave it like that because it's gonna be more complex. Maybe this is for another video, but
Yeah.
let's just leave it like this. So this, what you did here in line 29 and 30 is the same as you had over there
Okay.
before.
Right. Let me just find where we've actually got text area field, because I don't know where I've got it in. Okay, I'm just going to import it into dashboard so we can just see it. I'm just going to use anything for the moment. So text area field. Oh, oops. So that's what we've got going in. So it should be appearing underneath all this. Oh, there it is. Okay, so then if we say no border, oh, it's the padding, isn't it? So it's actually, right, I see. It's just that the no border isn't actually working as it's not actually removing the border, it's removing the padding. Yeah, obviously. So if we take that off now, you can see that it's hard to the left. So yeah, that's worked. Okay. Right, okay, so that's something. That's working a treat. So okay, that gives me a way forward to do that then. That's cool.
Yeah, when you have, just think about this. When you have, if you go back to the text area field, when you have, yeah, that's fine. When you have an expression or you are responding to another prop to define something that is in the style system, the best way I can find out is to do what we did in 929. The problem here is that if you're passing those props to the actual component, you will not be reacting to that prop.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, actually, you are. You're gonna override because you have in line 32. You're spreading the props that you're passing. So actually, if you go back to the dashboard, let's just try it. Let's just put PX 5 for liberated 5. Yeah. And PY 3 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
It's still working.
So
okay, sweet. So you can still redefine it in the actual, in the actual end product when you're passing it.
As I said, it's not ideal. I actually don't like. It's
not very elegant, is it? This situation.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's not very elegant because you've got to write it all out.
Well, it's how you define your component. It's not. It doesn't have to be elegant or not. It's just how you.
Doesn't have to be.
This is your implementation. So
what are you talking about? Designer.
What I was trying to say is that I really don't like to expose this PX, PY, props to my outside component. So the user of my component I don't want him to know about those props.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant I thought you were talking about this being because to me, yeah, I totally agree with you. Like you shouldn't be. This should literally be exactly as it is here. And then if you do want to,
maybe like a variant, maybe another little
maybe
prop.
you can having that in there is okay because it is going to be a text field and it is going to be that. Okay, that's no, I totally agree. I think the thing is that oh God, this plugin's driving me mad. This doesn't seem to as elegant as you would expect though, adding this in here like this, but I mean it works and that works great. And the fact is that this means that it's always referring back to the style system. In fact,
there you go.
I would want to do this. Oh no, wait a minute, no. Wait a minute. So so I've done that as 0.4 rem, so let's use that. Wait a minute, why is that? So if it's not no border, it's 1, and if it is no border, I'll work that out another time. That's fine.
I think it's bigger if there's no border.
Yeah.
Because you have 0.6 something over there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll just leave it there. That's. I'm just going to do this.
Yeah, of course, it's not as elegant as we have it before with the default props and thing, but it's working as we want it. So yeah, I think we can refactor this later. Of course, it's going to be. It could be a clever way. Actually, if you are watching now and you know a better way to do it, just comment something, please. We want your opinion.
And apologies for the.
Apologies. yeah, you're right.
If you're the guys behind Style Systems, please, if there's anything I'm doing wrong, I do apologise. Right. Okay. So I'm just what I just did there is basically just align these to the actual Style System. So if we change anything here, then it changes here, which I think is a better way.
Yeah. Amazing. Really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. I will do that then. That's I'm
one check.
Right, that is done. I'm just going to put solution in text area field so I can refer back to it. Okay, because I've got plenty like that. Because obviously, the great thing about using React is being able to do props and stuff and creating custom props and whatnot. But so I've done that plenty, and now I've got to refactor it into Style Systems. So that's something that I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, and another source of inspiration, I would say, it's Radix. If you go to GitHub or the browser and just look for Radix Style System.
Radix.
Radix. RDIIX. Style System. I think that's the name. There you go. Oh, one eye. So this is a design system implementation also, and you can see how they create their components. It's quite. I think it's a really good implementation on components. So yeah, why not?
I'll have a look at that later on. That's a nice thing to look at.
Yes.
As an example, because the other one, actually, we haven't even mentioned this, so I don't know whether you have, but the other implementation that we refer back to is Rebus. Rebus used.
There you go. Rebus is, of course, the same guy that created Style System is the guy who created Rebus, and it's amazing. It's just
see this. I go to this constantly to come back to have a look at this kind of thing. So I mean, when you first get started, this is really, really, really useful to look at. So yeah, if you're using Style Systems for the first time, go back here.
Yeah, so, actually anyway, the implementation of this is pretty simple, so you can just go and read it. It's quite easy.
Okie dokie. So next question, pseudo styling. So pseudo styles. So let's do text area field again. We're back here. Wait a minute, did I just delete stuff? I think I did. Oh, yeah. just but okay, so the next thing is about pseudo styling. So in CSS, obviously, you can do the pseudo styling, say for placeholder. So if I put in a placeholder into here, I can't remember how to do this exactly. Oh, I know what to do. There's some placeholders. Okay, so let me just bring up. Where are we? Okay, so it's here. And we are looking for text field, I believe. Yes, it's this one. So text field. Okay, so we're going to be working on this one. I'm going to get rid of that because it's not supposed to be there. And then we will go. So we are going to be working on.
Get rid of the row also in the dashboard. The last row. You don't need it.
I think it's already gone, isn't it?
Yeah, line 113. You don't need that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Right. Okay. So I'm going to just pause for the moment. I will be back in a moment. If you want to share any pearls of wisdom about style systems, I've just got to go away. I'll be back in 2 minutes. If that's all right, Horacio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry to anybody who's watching. I've just got to quickly nip out.
Okay. Cool.
Emergency.
Yeah, I'm gonna share. Why not? So you are sharing your screen. I hope. Whoa. Present for everyone. Yeah, I think so. So I hope you're watching. Also, another thing that I think is gonna lead to this right now, because of the nature of his questions, is that in style system again. Sorry about that. Sorry about the noise. I know it's quite heavy, but yeah. One thing about style system that I really like is about variant, that I cannot access variant from here. But if I go to GitHub and I go to docs API, you should bookmark this. This is amazing. So you can go to variant. So here, essentially a variant is just a set of rules, a set of styles that you can add to a specific component. You can define a key in your theme. So let me just go into.
Sorry about that.
Hey, no problem. Item. No, I don't want to reload this. So let's go to git slash git check master, and then code. I'm talking about variants.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So,
I've not really had a great deal to do with variants just yet.
If I go to app, config, theme, you see here that I have button. I have a button property here in my theme. So if we go to that button variant, actually it's going to be easier. You see that I'm defining a primary button, a secondary button, tertiary button, and an inactive button. So these are the variants that my button can have. So you see here that I have color, background color, so all the CSS properties. One cool thing that I can add here is also pseudo selected. So I can just do hover. And here I can just add whatever else I want. Or in the case of an input, I can just add placeholder. And here I can add all the styles that I want for this pseudo element. Okay?
Pseudo elements.
This is pretty cool here. And then the way to actually use those props is here. You see that I'm importing variant from style system. It's a utility. Again, it's a function. It's just a JavaScript function. The cool thing about style system is that you can use it with whatever CSS and JS library that you want. I think it's working with style components glamorous, and also emotion. So if you're using emotion or whatever of those two, three, you can use it quite right away. And so you see here that I'm creating a button style actually to make to be more semantic. I'm not gonna push this. Uh, it should be button variant, and then inside here I should add variant because you are defining here the variant styles. Actually, this console log needs to go away. And here you're saying, okay, whatever I define the variance and follow whatever is defining the attribute button in my theme. So you see here that I have button. This is the same as doing that button column button, but this is the short syntax new to ES6. We're just adding the button attribute in our theme, and that's how we can react to those. So the way to use it is actually if we go to variant, no, actually look for variant equals. You see here that I have in my style button, no, this is not a good example, button here. So you see here that I'm adding my button, it's the type submit, and then the variant of that button is the secondary. So what is it going to do? It's going to go here, it's going to add those styles, and then it will go here to my button and say, okay, this is the secondary props this is secondary styles that I need to add to my button. So it will add this styles also. So yeah, this is the magic of variants, and here you see that it's implementing the variant prop. But if you pass also a prop here and say style, here the variant should be the prop name should be style. So you can also change the prop name of your component. This is really beneficial when you want to nest, or well, not nest, when you want to compose different different variants. That's pretty handy to have those.
I suppose it's better to have all these in one place, like because what we did previously with the adding the padding like we did for the text area field, and adding it like into the default props. Oh no, adding it actually into the thing. Is that a better way of doing it than variants? But I'm guessing variants is are more complex than those little changes.
Yes. Variants is more complex. You have like one type of set of rules in CSS that you want to add. Like I don't know, all the alert, all the warnings in your application, even though it's a button or a text or a label or whatever, should have the same background and the same color. So you can have a variant called, I don't know, warning, and you can add this to whatever component that you define this variant. So yeah, it's more in a general and more complex scenarios than what we did with the padding X and padding Y, but yeah. It's pretty cool. I really like it.
You could do it that way if you wanted to do it that way. You could, but it would be more of a pain in the ass, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you need to be a little. I think more clever. You need to be clever in the way how you define your variant. But yeah.
Thing is, with that, it's really much more easier to understand the variants. When you go to the button variant file, it has the name of the variant and then all the styles, seeing as it would be the other way round. For what we did, it would be the style, and then you would put the variant name or the prop name in, and then you would define it. So it's much smarter if you've got things like buttons or other more complex components.
Yeah, here we just have like the button variants and then the heading variants.
Yeah.
So if you go to the heading variant, you see that we have a variant for H1, H2, onto H6. So, and you can see here that I'm just using one heading component but depending on the variant, it's gonna look different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of cool, also.
Okay. Should we
So yeah,
go
I'm gonna
quickly?
change back to you then.
I'll come back to me. I'm here. Right. Okay. So if
Okay.
anybody's wondering
Did
why
I?
I'm looking up, I've got a big screen just here, just so you know. Right. So let me just share my screen. So thank you, Horacio. Sorry for that
Yeah.
unexpected.
How much time have we been recording?
I don't know. It doesn't say on here how long it's been
really
going for.
bad.
It's really unuseful. So thank Google, listen to me when I say to you, do something about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we know you're listening.
We know you're listening. I mean, seriously, yeah, I'm not going to. I was listening. Right, okay, check this out for weird. Complete side note. Sorry, guys, this is just how I roll. I was around my brother-in-law's the other day. We were listening to Rage Against the Machine, and then I come home and I look on my YouTube. First thing I see is Rage Against the Machine. I'm like, come on, yeah, it's really obvious you're listening to me. Anyway, let's see what happens with me just saying that. Okay. So what I want to do then is, so what I want to do is the style system for placeholder. So you'll see here that I've got placeholder, but I've got like font weight, font style, color. These are all things that are in here. You know, they are in our theme. So the question is obviously I've been trying to put everything within default styles, because that placeholder, that is a default style for all of the text fields. So do we put it like we had before? Do we put it in here? But it's not a prop, it's a pseudo style. Or do we put it in here? What do you think, Horacio?
Good question. Okay, the ways that I think this is possible is via props. So you see in line 9, we're just using a function to get some props. And also between line 29 and line 36, you are defining some props. Those are default props. So maybe you can define some props over there that is not going to be exposed, but you're using them in your component. Or also another way that we can use that is with the theme get function. So we can get the theme value from there and put it over here. The problem is that I actually don't know what's the best way to do it. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any way that we can just use the theme get function to get a value from an array from our theme.
I mean, could you get the theme get function within here? Because then at least it's.
Yeah, actually, one way. Remember that because we have a theme. If you remove, is that a color in our theme like D4, O4D, 4D, 4D? Okay, so if you remove the color, just not the whole thing, just the value, and you add over there a function, so it will be dollar, actually an expression, dollar curly braces. If you do props, define the function, props, and then arrow, without the dot, and then space, arrow function. So you can do here props. You can write props.
Oh, right, sorry.
Dot theme dot color, maybe colors.
Oh yeah, we've done this before, haven't we?
Yeah.
And then we've done it in like gray or whatever.
Yeah, maybe that's the, I don't know what's the name. If you go to theme.js.
Sure. Wait a minute, that's just, that's actually exactly
color.
right.
It's colors and then gray, whatever.
But then we've got to refer to colors up here, haven't we?
No, because we're referring to the props that we have line 14. So remember, because we're using that theme, we're using the theme provider. All the values in our theme is going to be accessible from our component.
Yes, because it's coming from box. So yes.
No. This is coming from style component. This does not have anything to do with style system. This is
Right.
just style components adding this theme to our component.
Okay.
So that's it. That's the
So
only thing.
we've got it as grey at the moment, but we won't see any change if we go for here, for example. So I'm just going to change it to orange to see whether it's worked.
Yep.
And then there we go. Woo, all right, that works a treat. So we can.
So also you can do that with font style. You can do that with font weight. I don't. This is not as responsive as I would like.
No.
But it's just it's
well, no, because you'd have to go into, if you want to change anything, you'd have to go into this file and change it instead of going here.
Yeah, but the thing that I like is that it's following the one source of truth. You are always referring to the theme. You are not getting any values from other places.
It's better.
So
it's better than it not being the case.
There you go. It's better than not referring to that from from the file or whatever.
So that's how we do it then.
So the key takeaway here is that when you're using a theme, can you go to the root so we can show how we are actually adding a theme to the component, the root component?
Is this right?
No, this is the app.
Oh, right. Okay.
We should have a root component. Yeah, there you go. So you see here in line 12, first, line 4, we're importing our theme. And then in line 12, we're passing that theme to our theme provider. So this theme provider is coming from style component. So this way we will get access to the theme in our style components as we did in text field. So if you go to text field, that's why we have the props.theme added to our.
It's coming from here. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yep. Yeah, it's good. The source of truth is kind of everything, isn't it? You know,
yes.
At the end of the day, when it comes from design and development, because I mean, what I'd like to try and do, so this is just a complete aside from a design perspective, is once we've got this style system up and running, we've got Storybook up and going and everything's there, I'd like to import it into Sketch using the Airbnb thing, so then we can just, whenever we want to make any changes, we can do it from Sketch.
It's all about one source of truth, and
exactly.
If you're a developer, you know what are the benefits of that, and we try to follow that as much as we can.
And the fact is from a designer's, from a UX point of view, it's really hard to see why. I mean, people talk about design systems for consistency and, you know, to bring together everything and stuff, but in terms of it from my perspective, from a UX perspective, it's more about the design developer handover and having that one source of truth to make sure that we're all on the same page. I mean, I'm doing it kind of like more of a longer way round than most UXers would, which is learning how to use React and actually learning how to do the stock systems situation. But the fact is that well, empathy is everything with UX, and at the end of the day, if you don't walk a mile in the shoes of the developers, then nobody really knows. So I would always say to all UXers, go out and learn some code. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to questions.
Yes to everything.
Solution in text.
Text field, just put line 14. I think it's better.
I'll put a red dot anyway, so you know it's all good. Okay, cool. So styling, colors with spans. What is this then? Oh, it's also in this. Can I use, is this situation? So this is basically a meta error. Right, okay, this is the where it is. There. So I tried to do this in a couple of ways, but like, would you be able to use this, for example, in here? You're off. Your mic's off, man.
I mentioned the solution. Did you hear it? No, I'm joking. So the way you see line 24, you're using a plain HTML element.
Yes.
So if you want to get some values from from styled components from your theme, you need to bring that component to the styled components world.
No.
So
Okay,
how you can do that? So you
would you do something like this, and then
yes, there you go. There you go. Error span. I create error span.
What
it
did
will
I
be,
just do? Don't save that.
what's that?
Okay, so if we then
there you go. Equals style dot. Yeah, you can use a box.
I just use box for everything generally.
I think it's a good practice.
Then we can have default props. I think it's red. Well, let's test it with orange.
So no, it's not gonna work like that. You actually need the color function from. Yes, okay, I'm not muted.
Yeah,
you
I can
need
hear
in the error span. Can you go up a little bit? Yeah, you need the color function from style system. So you open, like, create a line over there, 7.5, and over there you need to dollar query braces and call the color function.
Oh, right, okay. So
yeah. Well, the box.
I've been doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
It should still work, shouldn't it?
The box has its color, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So that will go down to that, which will therefore.
There you go. Yes, you're right.
So
you're right.
I'll save that.
Yeah. The thing is that. Yeah. Also, now the thing is that now this is a div, so you need to add in the default props of error span. You need to add the AS prop.
Yeah, but what would you say it is as? I was thinking about this.
It's a span.
Does
it
it
be a
span?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it should be a span because it's semantically correct to add text into a text specific element.
Okay, cool. And it's one of those things like that. You know, when you just use something and you just don't ever realize what something is, and because you don't use it a great deal. Span is one of those things for me. I've never really used it. I've always tried to put any text within H's or P's or M's or small. No, I'll try to do that. But anyway, it's all good. So that's a span. I will also make that font family. In fact, I'll just put that there. See this, therefore. Okay, so let's take it one step further. I want to create a new, error message. Actually, I did this. Look what I did. So I created this. Let's do the same thing. Take this out. I'm pretty sure this is exactly what I did, but it's probably because I didn't put span in there. Make that put that there. Get rid of this. Oh, go away. Because obviously we're going to be using this error message elsewhere.
Yep. Reusability, composing.
Okay, we're going to go do start box, not start flex. Because that did work. Take that out of here.
Field, you need to check
I call it error span, so let's call it error span.
No, error message is better. I think it's a better name.
Okay, so
go to text field, error message, and then you need to import error message. You're going fast, man. I'm really proud. I'm
man,
really surprised. That's really cool.
It's been a lot of doing the same thing over and over that helps.
Oh, that's really cool. Guys, if you have not seen this guy coding before,
you've spoken too soon.
It's been long. And
You've spoken too soon. Look what's happened.
That's not good. So let's see.
No. Look, see, first off, that's gone. So, oh, wait a minute. That's because I've taken that out. That's stupid, man.
Message.
Okay. So that's okay. So this is exactly what happened before, which is why I had to put it on a question. So I'll put something in, and then it disappears.
Okay, can you go to the console?
Okay.
Yeah, open the console. Okay, so if you go up, I want to see the start of the error. Objects are not valid as a React child. Okay. Image render collection. Okay, that's why. So if you go to the text field, you are. Why? So error message, meta error. Can you go back again? I want to see the error. Who's created this error? Text field line 25. Can you go there? Text field line 25. Style text field. That's weird because I'm passing a label and then a style text field, and it should be correct because we are on meta. Oh, okay. So
is it because it's within, it's a component within a component? Almost. Well, no, because that's not.
No. Yeah, that's one component.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah.
And it's inside a flex component. It should work. But maybe the meta error is not one thing. It's more than one thing. So we need to console log that. So can you go line 20?
20. Yeah.
Yeah, before the round bracket, open curly brace.
Here.
No, before the other round bracket, the last one.
Here.
Yeah. Open curly brace. And then go down one line. I don't see any. So write return. No, just type return. The return keyword.
Yeah. Okay.
Return space, and then on this line 20 and a half.
Yeah.
Just do a console log meta.
So console
log.
How do you?
And then meta.
Like that.
Yeah. So then what you need at the end, line 30, before the semicolon, before the semicolon. So in between those two characters,
right, okay.
Yeah, you need the curly brace.
Yeah. Okay, so that closes
so
it.
Now, let's just see. Okay, so we have active data dirty error required. Okay. So if you type something, so now if you go up, more. The above error occurring in a diff component. Frequency style diff stuff. By field. Traditional form. Yes, in the text field. Is that error? Can I see the error message implementation? You go to error message over there. Oh, you need to save. Can you save? Again. Oh, boom. Objects are not valid. That's a React component. Why? So meta error. Can you go up? I want to see the consoles,
Oh, sorry.
the logs.
Is that what these are here?
Yeah, no, it's you have error is just one string. And what button is consoling you of that? Oh, this is just a silly error that I actually don't see it right now.
Okay, should we just skip this for the moment?
Yeah, let's just. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what's happening. If you go to error message,
yeah,
the line 7 needs to be at the structuring of the children. So you need wrapping children. You need that and the curly brace.
And the curly braces. Okay.
Yes. There you go. Now it's gonna work.
Seem very confident.
Yes.
Oh, you are confident because you're right, but these aren't being. That's not being picked up.
Default spam, styled error message, color orange is based on box. Okay, so can you go to the website and inspect that element? So it's a div.
No.
It's a div. It's not a spam.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm just going to do this because I like to just try crazy things out.
Oh, okay. I know why. Can you go back?
Yep.
You told me why. Can you go back? So you see line 5 is styled error message, and line 11 is error message dot default props. What's the error?
Oh, it's because they should be that.
There you go. Now it should work.
Yeah! Skills.
Yes.
You got the skills to pay the bills, my friend. Okay. Yes. I will style that better because that's not as good as I want it to be. That's perfect. Okay, cool. Wicked. That's good news. So yeah, that was a real, like, I was trying this out for ages, but it's the same kind of thing here. So error.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
There you have it. Solution
okay, there, guys.
error
There's
message.
a very long video, we know, but we've got 20 minutes left until we should have some lunch, and then we've got another meeting later because that's me.js in a nutshell, guys, if you work for us. Okay, so text field.
We're actually planning to do another video today, and we failed miserably, so that's why we're doing this.
Well, to be fair, this is the thing that I really need to know, because Alex was like, dude, you've got to get all this style system stuff out of the way. You've been doing it for ages. And I'm like, I know I have. But these questions are the key things, because once I get this out of the way, then I can do all of these other things and go back and do these ones as well. So, yeah. Cool. Right. So that is one thing out the way. Next one. Style systems in router link. Yeah, let's have a look at that.
Okay.
Right. So, right. So, is it this? I think I was trying to do. So this is in the table line. That's right. Yeah. So we go to anything with a table. Right. So this is a table. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. Yeah, that's so this is working. Okay, so line height, if we go back, so these are all based on, so the font family comes from style system. because these are specific to the responsive table implementation that we've used. So so everybody know, we've used super responsive table, I think, to use this so it can do things like that. But obviously it's not standard HTML elements, and it's set up in a specific way. So this, which would normally be like something like that, or like I use all the time, we've got it as responsive table. So the question is, so I've imported the font family into here using this, but line height, I believe, this is why I'm asking you this question, didn't want to work. So I've got a what's it called, string, or what's it called? I always forget. An array. Yes.
An array of strings.
An array of strings. There you go. Oh, this driving me mad. And basically the line height, I've put it as 1, which is 1.5. So that's kind of standard for all text. That's kind of another accessibility thing. But if I wanted to change this, so if I did this, so therefore that'd be 2 rem.
That will be 1.5 rem. Yeah, you put 2, yeah.
It doesn't, I mean, see, firstly, it doesn't pick it up. You can see it's not being used.
Yep, because you're not using it. So the way you see, like, you're using font family in line 18 or line 22. So if you want to use the line height, that function, you need to actually use it as you're using it in line 18.
Ah, yes.
So just check if that's the proper function from Style System. I think it is, but
yeah, I think
just
it
check
is.
that. Yeah. So
line heights.
I don't know if it's line. Yeah, I don't know. You need to check the Style System.
Well, it's got it. Yeah, it's got it here. Like I found this out yesterday, that font. I was trying to do max width yesterday, and it just would not do it. And then I realized that actually it's max widths, in the same way that you've got font sizes. And then, but if you bring that, so
can you go to the index, that index file?
This one.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense, because the space is, the function is space. It's not spaces.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's not very semantic, in my opinion. I don't think space is a particularly good way of phrasing it.
If you remove line 11 line height,
yeah,
and actually the comma, so I think you'll have like the whole thing. If you do comma space, you will get suggestions. So if you start typing line height,
yeah, so it's line.
I think it's this one.
Okay, so let's just try both. So that should work. Height. So the line height.
It should in the table. Just in the table.
Make this higher.
The table higher. Yeah, it should be. I guess so.
No.
You have 3 tabs open for the same app.
Oh yeah, I know, but they're different ones. So,
oh, okay, cool.
So that hasn't made a blind bit of difference. But then is it?
So can you add that line height to the
is it one of these?
Yeah.
Nope.
Can you check if there's go to Style System docs and see what are the line height functions?
Yeah. Just so everybody knows, I did do this. I did try all of my, like, basically I go through everything. So
yeah, line height is the name of the prop, but typography is the function. So,
but that's just a catch-all, isn't it? It's not really just like, that's just a phrase.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't use typography ever.
No, I don't think so. I think you use font family or text align or line height. So it should work.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
So okay, so we have that. We're importing from that line height, and we're using line height in PH. So let's just go to the website and inspect that TH. Oh, there's no TH here. That's why.
See, this is another thing that I don't like.
Just put a TD, yeah.
Well, table head. That's table header, isn't it? So there's no height there.
Yeah,
So
there's no table header. That's why we're going to see it.
I'm just going to
So
try.
put it over there. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely. Has that worked?
I don't know. Let's see. So can you inspect that TD?
Wait, TD is so this
TD is a column. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So you see there. If you go to the React tab instead of the Elements tab, we can see over there the actual props that we're passing to. You see line height too, over there on the top. TD.
Yeah, it's definitely passing it. I'm just going to try.
Yeah, it'll just be.
Right, so that is working. Okay, it is working. It's just, it's not really making a blind bit of difference.
Yeah.
Kind of the. Well, that's fine. That's fine. That just means that. Oh, well, that's good then. Okay, so the way that I thought it would work does work that way. That's good to know. Okay, so if I did this, for example, so what I want to do now is remove this. So. Oh, whoops. So font weights are, so this is a normal. So then we put in font weights. Normal. Okay, so that makes sense, doesn't it? Ah, oh, that didn't work. God damn it.
Yeah, it doesn't work because you're adding that font weight to the table. You're not adding that to the column.
Right.
So,
okay. So
yeah,
really,
table is a different beast. You need to treat it with caution.
So they don't really need to, so it really needs to go there kind of thing, right?
No, TR is a row. It needs to be in
Yeah,
TH and TD.
Okay, so this is, okay, so TD is the kind of like base level where if you add it there, then
is a cell. TD is a cell.
Gotcha. Right.
So
that makes
TH is
sense.
the header. Is the header cell.
Yeah.
There you go. You got it.
All right. Cool. So therefore, do we really need? So the header is okay. So this is interesting. Well, that's fine. We don't need. So the font families can be. We don't really need anything in here because it's all served under here, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Maybe if we're defining padding or something, yes, but we're not defining anything right now.
So okay, that's cool. I'll leave that for the moment because that's, I mean, that is completely, there's no CSS in there. Yeah, there's the first one where there's no CSS whatsoever. It's all style systems. Right, cool. Last but not least, so this is within, whoever's still with us watching this,
yeah,
well done.
That's weird. Yeah, thank you for listening. And also, if you had any suggestions, we're not experts here. We're just learning while doing it. So.
Jesus, a few months ago, I didn't even, I'd sit here. There's actually a GIF that I made on my Twitter that is literally me, like my head in my hands, and it just says "Learning React is crap" or something like that. I didn't share it to the guys because I think it would have broken their hearts, bless them. So, but yeah, I'm there. I could do it now. So you know,
we didn't have the right approach back then. I think we're getting there.
Yeah, man, I'm loving it now. It's funny how, like, I think it was the lead up to Christmas. It was just like, oh my god, I think it's there. It's in my brain. I can do this shit. Right. let's do this last one. So max width props in text field. So let's open text field. If this is what we've already done, max width normal. I think I've already done this. Why is it? Okay,
I don't know. Maybe maybe it's something that we have not seen yet.
Okay, so it's up here. So this is 65 characters, I believe. I don't know whether it is though. So the max width, let's make it extra small, see if it works. Oh, perhaps I got that right. So that's the standard props, but if I want to put it in, so if we open up create discount. And create discount form. Okay, so name of discount is unique discount code should be small. So do I just do small?
No. No, you need to actually pass something in line 49.
Oh.
So yeah, let's try, instead of passing text field, let's pass like write the actual bracket for a component over there. You know, the minus.
Oh, well, this one.
Yeah, and then pass a prop over there. Pass the max width.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
To be max width and then small.
Wait a minute, is that or no?
No, it should be a string. You can do that or without the curly braces, it doesn't matter. And then watch out because you need that curly brace. Yeah, and then so, yeah. Let's see if this works. I don't know.
Nope.
Yeah. Inbound expected a string slash function but got an object. Yeah. Yeah, we need another render. We need another way to render this. Oh, you know what? Let's try it. Just put back to the text field to just the name.
I'm just going to copy that. And then just
name it. And because I know, and this is an implementation thing that I know, the field component will pass all the props to the actual component. Let's just pass here max width to small as a prop. Yeah. I think this will make the trick.
Yeah, nice. So maximum number of redemptions should be extra small.
So over there, field max width extra small. Yep.
Fucking amazing. Ah!
Question: why discount amount and the other text field are not the same width? Can you go back to?
Well, the name is
unique discount code and the discount amount. But those two are not the same width.
No, I don't know why, but let's have a look. I'm guessing because it's these, but we'll just.
Can you pass over there max width extra? No. Can you pass to the flex component? Can you go back? You see the flex line 60 over there. Can you pass the max width to small? That's prop. No. Okay, we need to fix that. I don't know how, but yeah.
Well, for my purposes, this is awesome. So yeah, all my answers are there, and it's 1 minute to 12. So I'm going to leave it there because I've got plenty to do now. I've got plenty of things that I can certainly do, and I'm going to stop. Oh, I'm back. Hello. So what we've done? Basically, gone I'm halfway through my implementation of the style systems. What I'm gonna do next is basically take everything that I've just learned and remove all the CSS as much as possible and get all that style system goodness in there. And yeah, any questions, anything at all, pop it in the comments below. Like and subscribe. And I watch so much YouTube that I see people do that, and I'm like, oh god,
Yeah, we're new to this.
Like and subscribe, as Adam Buxton. Anyway, yeah, that's it, I think.
Thanks everyone for having us. Yep.
Right.
See you in the next one.
Bye.